Hi, my name is Timothy Radel, and I'm a professor of mathematics at the University of Houston downtown. In this video, I will demonstrate the 10 to the x as well as the x to the negative 1 features on the graphing calculator, TI-83 or TI-84, as well as the use of scientific notation. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is clear the RAM by going to second memory, and then I'll reset, clear all my RAM. Okay, and now I'm ready to begin. Here above the log button is the 10 to the x feature. We activate it by using the second button and then clicking on that log button. I have 10 to the, and I can type in any number I want here, 10 to the third power, and hit enter, and I get 1,000. Or I can take 10 and raise it to a negative number by using the negative key there. 10 to the negative 2 power is 100th, or 0.01. Just do a couple more here. 10 to the 0 power is, of course, equal to 1. If I want to raise 10 to a larger power, say to the 11th power, notice I get a rather unusual looking answer. I get something that says 1e to the 11th, or 1e11, which means 1 times 10 to the 11th power. This is scientific notation. I can also obtain this number by typing 1 and then using the EE feature, second comma, and then 1, 1. And I get 1 times 10 to the 11th power. That number is a 1 with 11 zeros after it. It's too long of a number to display all the digits on the screen. And so we have the use of scientific notation here. So another example, we could have 3.5 times 10 to the 11th power. So what I could do here, two things. I could say 3.5 times, and then use the 10 to the x feature, and I have 3.5 times 10 to the 11th power, which is indicated on the calculator as 3.5 E11, or I can simply type 3.5 and then use the double E feature, and then 11 as sort of a shorthand for the same number I want. Let's do an example. Here I want to do a couple of mathematical arithmetic calculations using scientific notation. The first problem is an addition problem. I have 1.26 times 10 to the 6th power plus 2.4 times 10 to the 4th power. And I want to express my answer, as it is given here, in scientific notation. For my calculation, I'm going to use the shorthand 1.26 E6 plus 2.4 and then the double E 4. Now my answer is given as 1,284,000. This is not in scientific notation. Scientific notation always requires the decimal point to be placed right here, after the ones digit but before the tenths digit here. If I have a decimal point here, I would have 1.2 times 10 to the something power for my scientific notation. An easy way to convert this to scientific notation is to go to mode, and you notice that I'm currently in normal mode. If I scroll over to scientific mode and hit enter, and then come back, now when I do this calculation again, you'll see I get my answer of 1.284 times 10 to the 6th power. And that is the same answer that I see here. In the next problem, I want to multiply two numbers. Now, these numbers are not written in scientific notation, but I want to give my answer in scientific notation. I want to multiply 5 million times 120 million. I could convert each of these numbers to scientific notation and then multiply them, or I could just multiply them as given and then convert my final answer to scientific notation. So let's take 5 million times 120 million Again, an answer of 6e14, and remember that means 6 times 10 to the 14th power. That is an answer of 6 with 14 zeros after it. Now notice I am in scientific mode here. If I go back to mode and I go back to normal mode, all right, not scientific mode, and I do the same calculation again, notice that 6 with 14 zeros after it is still too many digits to show on the screen. And so the calculator automatically gives scientific notation. So sometimes you'll be doing a calculation and the number is either so large or so small that you will have the answer given in scientific notation.